Welcome back to Compai's Expat channel, Everything Expat. Another night, Manuel in the studio from the Good Life Sosua. We're continuing on with our series of how to make money being a vacation rental. You basically have two types of opportunities, short-term, long-term. And what we're going to do, we're going to get into the difference, what you can expect as far as a client and income. So let's start off with short-term and rates.
Yes. So, for example, like you as an owner that wants to have like a short-term rentals, you must think that is a lot of more work. You must pay all the expenses. You have to go back and forth with the guests, always talking to the guests if everything is okay. And in case you have a checkout, you must send a cleaning team to clean the apartment. And yes, it's a lot of more work, but at the end, the payout is bigger. So, in case that you're looking for short-term rental, you must think that you must work harder for that. In case that you have a property manager, they can work for you, but you must understand that you must pay from your income from 20 to 25% of the income that you have, excluding the expenses, obviously.
I personally prefer short-term.
Yes.
The reason being, I'll give you guys numbers. Everybody wants numbers. Okay, my nightly rate, let's just say for a one bedroom, is between 60 and 65 a night, depending on what one bedroom you're renting. So if I can get a 70% occupancy rate at $60 a night, you're making good money.
Yes.
The trade-off is I'm going to be doing more check-ins, more checkouts. I'm going to have shorter turnovers where I'm going to need the cleaning crew to come in. They might be a little louder. They might not. It all depends. I personally, my sweet spot is a 7-day rental to a 2-week rental. That's where I make the most bang for my buck, and that's what I'm really marketing for. That's my ultimate goal. What about you?
For example, with my tenants, I usually get like, well, my apartments are, well, all depends. I have different type of rates, but usually my guest comes around 5 nights, 7 nights, maybe 10 nights. But we're constantly having a lot of guests, so usually we have a 85 to 90 or maybe 100% occupancy rate. But that's the risk over there. For example, you must have a good quality apartment to have 100% or 70% occupancy rate. So for the owners that maybe doesn't want to invest too much in their apartment, the best option for them is a long-term tenant that they can stay for cheaper, and yeah, you don't have to worry about it. And yeah, yeah.
I do both. My mentality is I'm going to take the money that's on the table when it comes, because heads on beds.
Mhm.
That's what we're all about. And you want to have enough when you have enough condos in your rental pool. Then you can do, okay, I'm going to do 3 monthly guys, pay the bills, and then let's just promote hard to get the guys that are couples that come down for a week or more. So if you're going to be that business owner and you're going to jump into the rental pool, you really got to take in consideration, how am I outfitting my condo, like we talked about in our last
Yeah.
video. Um, who am I renting to, and what are their expectations? Because the short-term rental client has a different expectation than the long-term
Yeah.
rental client.
For example, for the long term tenants, you must think, well, all depends how you are going to give the apartments for long terms, because long terms you have different type of apartments. Let's say some long terms are like completely empty, that you must buy all the furnitures and everything, and some apartments are fully furnished. Obviously, in the apartments that are fully furnished, you must think that you must have good quality pots and pans. Everything must be fully working. because for example those type of guests are the ones that are living there and are constantly using all the appliances. For short-term guests, they're not cooking in the apartment. They're just going to a restaurant, eat for 2 days, and then just go to their country, but all depends what type of guests actually you're getting.
That's a great point what Manny just
Yeah.
just just brought up. It's all about usage. How is your client going to use your property? It doesn't matter if they're short term or long term. They're still going to complain when they don't like
Yeah.
something. They're still going to have something to say. And as the owner or the property manager, you want to limit the opportunity for them
Yeah.
to say something. So you got to have a certain standard that you're willing to invest into, because that's what it boils down to. It boils down to investment. And when you make that investment, do you want to take a 50% nightly income reduction? Like I said, my nightly rate is $60. When somebody rents me for a month, I'm taking 50% pay cut just to give you the opportunity to rent for a month. And they're still going to want everything top notch, like just like if they were living in their home country. So there's the trade off. You're going to make less money doing a monthly rental. They're not going to be any easier or any harder of a client. I think the monthly guys are harder than the weekly guys.
Yeah.
Because the weekly guys come in, they're here to party, they're here to have a good time. They just want to enjoy the beach. They're going to do them.
Okay.
The monthly guys, this is their home. I've had guys say, "Hey John, can you buy me a bucket so I can wash my underwear?" I said, "Are you kidding me? I don't want to see your underwear hanging out on the balcony. No, I'm not going to buy you a bucket to do that." But that's the expectations. They think that because they're renting a month, that you're going to starve without them. When in reality,
Yeah.
we're taking a 50% cut right off the top.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm doing what you've done in the garden condos and outfitted your condos excellent. And I just finished my fourth one today. That's why I look the way I look, because I am tired. I'm beat up.
Yeah, but at the end, you will receive like more money. Then, obviously, maybe the long-term guest that you had doesn't want to pay for the newest units, but at the end it will be worth it. I had some guests that before paid, let's say 900 per month, and when they saw that new apartment, they just double it and paid me 1800. And they told me, "Look, Manuel, it's totally worth it because they're feeling way more comfortable. All their guests that comes to their apartments, they say, 'What a beautiful apartment you have,' and they are like feeling, they're feeling good about all the people telling them what nice apartment they have. And the best thing about it is that they will recommend to other friends to book their unit. So yes, most of the guests will come from recommendation, not even from Airbnb or Expedia or all those platforms.
Good point. Good point. All right, so we touched that if you're going to do short term, you're going to have more turnover rate, more daily work coming and going. If you're going to have long term monthly rentals, you're going to make less money, but they're still going to be as equally demanding as somebody who's there for a week.
Yeah.
So acquiring guests, I despise Airbnb. I do. If I hit Superhost, I'm like, how did that happen? How did I get Superhost? Did I get lucky? I just don't market Airbnb. I don't like the clients that I have received over Airbnb. some of the hardest clients that I've had, the most difficult I've ever been Airbnb. And I'll give you a story. I had this Canadian young couple last year. They were in for about a week, that monthly rental. And she goes, John, she calls me in the morning, John, we're very upset. I said, what's the matter? She goes, it says washer and dryer available on your Airbnb site, but there's no washer and dryer in the studio. I said, yeah, it's available. We'll wash whatever you have, 600 pesos. She says, yes, but you misled us. It says it's available and it's not in the condo. And I said, well, a pool's available too. Do you want the pool in your condo as well? I said, we're splitting hairs here. And I said, we'll wash your clothes for free twice this month, just to make you happy. And she said, no, I want to use the washer and dryer. And I said, not going to happen. Nobody goes in my pump house. Mm. And basically it was, here's your money back, go someplace else. Yeah. At some point, you just got to say, you know what? We just need to end this and just move on. And then most of my times that I've had to do that have been with monthly clients. Yeah. The week clients, they'll just never come back. Yeah. They'll be like, sorry.
The thing is that, long-term guests are usually like, they think that everything is included. Yeah. Every single thing. But it's totally opposite, because at the end, for monthly rent, you're paying way less, so obviously the owners need to cut expenses, need to take things off, but maybe for a short term, you include more things because they're actually paying the full rate.
Good point. Good point. When you take the monthly rate, when you take 950 American, divide it by 30, you're talking 30 some dollars. Yeah. So you're getting a nice condo in a walkable beach town in the Caribbean for $30 a night. And that's how I say it now. So when you have a rental property and you're going to be having people who are trying to fit into their budget, and always got to remember, not most of the deals are done in American dollars, but not everybody's American making American dollars. The poor Canadians are getting beat up on their exchange rate. Mm-hmm. So, they have to look out for their better financial interests as well. So, there has to be some give and take, especially if they're a client that you've had for years and they're great clients. I take care of my own. When you take care of me, I take care of you to an extent. To an extent. But that you have to do that to be successful.
So yes, for example, when you're trying to talk to a owner in case that you want to rent or something, just tell them, look, I don't have too much money, and then maybe the owner can arrange you. Okay, we can do this or we can do that, or maybe I will not include you cleaning services, or like always I'm not include you the electricity. But the thing that I do is, if a guest doesn't want to pay too much, okay, let's agree one price, but I will not include you like obviously the electricity, cleaning services, or propane tank in case that you are cooking a lot. Obviously, I'm gonna include you the first tank, but the second tank of propane will not be included. So you have to pay all those expenses.
See, now I always will include cleaning. My situation is different than Manny, and I own my property. I want my maid to get inside that unit and give me intel. No, seriously, I want to know if that client is abusing my property, if he's clean, if he's dirty, if he's leaving food out. Am I going to have ants coming in that apartment? I have 9 other tenants that I need to make sure his actions aren't going to affect. Plus, I want to know if stuff is broke. I just want to, it's my property. I got to protect my investment.
Totally. So yeah, since I just manage property, me as a property manager, I'm just trying that the owner has less expenses and more earnings as possible. So yeah, John is the owner, so he's always he's getting all the earnings to himself. He's not
Yes.
paying a property manager that is taking 20, 25% as I do. So me, my how can I say it? My mission is to have the most earning possible for the owner.
See, now, I think, Manning, you have it harder than I do.
Yes.
You're trying to appease both camps. Now, we never, ever, ever, ever want to lose clients. We want to expand our client base, but I don't have an owner that's going to yell at me. Why is my apartment not rented for 2 weeks? Why did I have to pay for this? And at the same time, you want to give a good service to the client. That's a tough, tough middle ground to walk.
Yeah, and I had some owners that always tells me, no, because you always have more preferences with other apartments. You always rent the other apartments, and mine are always empty. And I tell them, look, when some guest tells me what you have available, I just open the whole book. I always tell them, look, this is what I have available. If they don't choose your apartment, it's because you need to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell you, you must invest, you must change this, you must change that. But most of the owners they just want to earn money, and earn money. At the end, you will be affected. Those owners that invested in their apartment, they're looking the changes in their earnings. Because if you don't invest, you will not get money back. And well, you might get money back, but really slow. But if you invest, you will get your money faster.
Well said. You gotta maintain. If you're an owner, you gotta maintain your product. You
Yeah.
gotta improve your product. I This year alone, I probably put close to 30 grand back in the Casa De
Mm.
Compai, and that's a lot of
That's a
money.
lot.
It's especially down here, it's a lot of money, and I'm not building anything. That's just new air conditioners, new sofas, new lighting, drying racks, the shower caddies. I mean, it's just I'm always fixing something. I haven't even got into painting yet.
Yeah.
That's 5 grand right there to paint Casa de
Yeah.
Compai. But if I don't, the minute I don't do that and I don't fix something that's broke, and people start realizing, John's getting a little chintzy there. He used to fix things right away. Now he's not doing it.
Mm.
That's the quickest way to lose your
Yeah.
client base. Quickest way, other than offending them.
Yeah.
There's nothing quicker.
And at least John is the owner and he can do it right away. But for example, me, I can't do it right away. I need to first ask the owner if he approves me spending all that money. So at the end, I'm the one that, let's say, I'm losing the clients, but I always can offer more options to the clients. Look, I have this in this condo. I have in another condo this option for you. I have a house. Since I have over 40 properties, I can like they have more options to choose. But sometimes it's difficult to get approved by the owner because they don't want to spend money. So I'm just stuck right there.
So if you're going to be an owner, don't put your property manager behind the eight ball. Don't expect him to perform miracles. It's like baking a cake. If you want the cake to come out good enough, you got to give it the correct ingredients. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to eat it. It's just like renting. The minute you're stagnant is the minute you start dying. And I can't say that more directly. You got to be moving forward all the time because you're always being evaluated as a business owner. All the time. The minute somebody walks on your property, they're evaluating it. Is it clean? Is it dirty? Do I want to stay a month here? Well, I come back for my next 10-day vacation. And you got to win them, and you got to keep, and every time. And that's also something else. Some of my hardest clients were the easiest ones in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And let me know if you've had this. Some people will ask you to jump through hoops just to see if you will do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, at the end, like John said, for the owners, please treat the property manager, let's say well, the best way, because at the end they're the one that are actually working hard so your property can maintain. Because it's really sad when you need to pay condos fees and then you are the one that needs to take money from your pocket. And you know how nice it is when you have to put money from your pocket, that your apartment gets paid condos fees and you get earnings. That's awesome, but some owners doesn't understand that. And then every year they must put, let's say, 1,500 to $2,000 per month, because not per month, per year, because they're always the apartment is not making enough money to pay the condos fees, so they need to pay that money back to the apartment.
So if you're gonna get into the rental business to be a vacation property owner, and you're not down here doing it yourself, what you got to do is you got to figure out, or if you're down here, I stand corrected on that. You got to figure out, how am I going to outfit my condo? Do I want to do long term, short term, or like I do, both? So if you're going to do both, you got to have a foot in each camp, and you got to be prepared to have that apartment outfitted for both. Then also, if you're not going to be here, you got to do your homework, get the correct property manager. He's right here, who will honestly care, maintain your property, give you suggestions to improve your property. He wants his success is based off of your success.
Exactly.
And you want to give him all the opportunity to be as successful as you can within your finances. And that's one of the key ways to come down here and be successful. I started off with one rental in the garden condos. That was my first property. 2014, I bought Casa De Compai, brought 3 condos online. 2017, I moved down here full time, did phase two. That's where all the 1 bedrooms are, and did the small apartment above the pump house. That gave me the 10th condo. So if you're thinking about becoming that expat, that property investor, take your time. Do it one condo at a time. Learn the market. Learn the difference between the client bases, the different markets that we have down here. We need to get into that too. Man, that's going to be a 3 episode conversation there. That's 3 weeks right there. But, take the time, learn the market, learn the client base, learn how to get things fixed to give yourself the opportunity to grow and be more successful. Because I love what I do, and Manning loves it too, because we're here filming at 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
So we honestly love talking about and doing what we do every day for a living.
Yes.
So guys, thank you for watching Compai's Expat channel. If you need a place to rent, you got Manning here. His information will be in the description below. You have Casa de Compai. If you're looking to invest, we know people that are great real estate agents. We're here to help you. We want to see everybody be as successful as they can be. Again, hit the subscribe button, like. Thank you.
Thank you. See you. Stay safe.